Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Tennis Manager 2021. We are on episode number 4, but we have to start over again. And not because of the finances issue, though it felt like it might be inevitable that we were going to have an issue and we were going to have to restart. But because as this game is in early access, there are some issues. And actually, just literally the next day, 24 hours after where we left off at the end of the next episode, I had started recording this episode. I had done the introduction and we started moving along. And then literally the next day, game froze up. And I've tried changing a million different things about it, but it keeps freezing at that same point. And so the save is corrupt and I can't bypass it. So we're stuck, meaning we have to restart. And that's okay, considering where things were. We learned a lot of lessons in those first 3 episodes. And for that, we've gained some experience. And therefore, my manager this time is back. Jokingly, Thierry Henry. That actually does look a lot like Thierry Henry. The facial hair, the face in general looks a bit like me. Again, skin tone, not mine. But that's about... that's just about me. Well, anyway, I've gained a little bit of experience in this game. So this time I'm going with a slightly more experienced manager, but I'm also taking that experience and applying it. Instead of being balanced and just weak at everything, I have a team, I have support, I have structure around me, and I now know how to get rid of some of that to stay afloat financially. And I also know how to utilize that in the best way going forward. And here's how to do that. I'm going to be really good at doing a handful of things. I'm going to be downright awful at doing other things. So I've looked carefully into the game to understand the structure. Having mental and tactics is going to make me a very good coach in a couple specific areas. Movement and physical abilities, likewise, is going to make me useful in a couple of specific areas. Ability to motivate is going to make me good on court with the athlete. The player management might play a role, and I'm still not quite sure where that one factors in. Maybe keeping somebody happy. Negotiation is huge. It is absolutely huge. So we're going to go max into that. Player evaluation. That's scouting. I can hire a scout to do the scouting, and you can get a scout pretty cheap early on in this game. And ability to provide care. I can't even do anything with that. Communication, though, those are all key pieces long term. Technical training. It's not going to be up to me. I will need to have a technical coach to handle those things. But some of the other areas, I'm going to have them covered gloriously. This time we make one small change. Again, the experience we carry over from those first 3 episodes is at our business center a few days away from being complete. So I went ahead and completed it. And that also means that $60,000 that we were then in the hole is now recovered. So we start with $100,000. We start with the business center complete, and now we start with our manager at level 2 instead of level 1. Basically, we've leveled up a single time, and we go from there. This is still a very, very hard start, but we'll see if those subtle changes, those little differences, can now take, instead of where's the racket, we have green balls. Let's see if the Green Balls Academy can shine. One difference, though, is we do not have the same athlete as we had last time. We now have 20-year-old Ann Lowell of the United States, two-handed backhand, right-handed player. She's ranked just inside the top 100. She's a little bit better. Our previous player was, and with slightly better potential as well. 4.5 stars. She's at 2.5 right now. We'll see if this player can go a little bit further, but we still have that same problem because she is a little bit better. She has a little bit more fame. We're only getting 21% revenue share, so she's going to have to compete at a higher level and hopefully get some sort of results in those levels if we are going to survive long term. But I have a few ideas going forward that might help us out a little bit. But obviously, with our staff now, you can see as a coach, 4 stars. Ability to motivate is a 16. So looking very, very good in that department. Technical training, really poor. Really poor. Can I even eliminate that? Can we? Oh, we can't. Physical training. You can see 4.5 stars. That's the movement, physical and mental combined. Tactical and mental, bam, 100%, 5 stars. Same with training. You see just how strong we are in these areas. Do have our really weak physician, Aisha, Nahimana, same that we had before. So they have automatically given us the same person. Might want to consider letting her go and saving some money. So that's kind of the thought process at the moment. I'm going to need some help. I'm a little overworked, but I'm not getting paid. Nahimana, she's making $2,000 a month, and that's a fair bit of change that we're going to have to try to overcome. Same time, we have an agent. I'm really good at training. They're making $3,000 a month. I'm going to see if we can get by and let them go. It's going to cost me 6 months worth of salary. That's not cheap, but I'm a better trainer than they are anyway, and 6 months is better than 12 months of salary. And then, of course, in the long term, if I handle that kind of stuff myself for quite a while, again, we're going to long term save a lot of money. Also, after letting our analyst go, you can see there goes 40,000. So the balance at 60,000, not a big change from where we were, but we now have a smaller staff. We're only spending 3,000 a month on salaries. Will this new player be able to earn enough money to help keep things afloat while we then try to develop her a bit and make her that much better and maybe negotiate a better contract with her for next year and at some point start turning a profit? That's the goal. Let's see what we can do. So the new training regimen is to exclude any technical training, which means she's not going to develop that way, but that's okay. We're going to have more rapid development in other areas. I'm not going to hire a technical coach for a while. So we're going to develop her physically, we're going to develop her tactically, we're going to develop her through game planning. That's the idea for now. We'll see how we can do on a minimal budget and see if we can't actually turn a profit. It's a little better athlete than what we had last time, so we'll see if she can compete at a slightly higher level and turn that into increased revenue, which we don't have a major cut of, but more revenue. Still, even then, a smaller cut could add up to a lot more money. And with the expenses going down massively, eliminating a whole lot of that debt that we incur monthly, plus that business center being done, we'll see if that can add up. We're going to hit that new year here quite soon, and we'll get into our first tournament. Okay, so now we're into January, and there's a couple things that are going to stand out real quick. First off, our opening tournament has a very nice prize pool, $850K. Sydney Opens, first qualifying round. We definitely would want to get through the first qualifying round to get at least a little bit of that money. That's made a little harder. We do get a ranking for this. We're 11th, but then we drew the 13th ranked opponent. There is a decent drop between us and them, so we'll see how we fare in that first match. But the other thing, obviously, that we really want to pay attention to is whether our tricks with the finances are going to work. We are now looking at a deficit monthly of 8.8 thousand, so 9,000. We're starting with the 2,000, so we bring that in every month. Again, remember, we were just days away from that being done on our first attempt at a playthrough. So deficit is just under 7,000 a month. That's going to be hard to make from what we saw with the previous attempt. But again, slightly better athlete this time. She's going to get into some bigger tournaments, and maybe there's going to be, even if she doesn't fare well, there's going to be some more money. Maybe we can turn that into something. We'll find out. Again, we're going to have a somewhat smaller cut than what we had. All right, so we enter fearful. They're stressed. But we start off with an ace right off the bat. I mean, she's only a few points better, but it's looking fairly significant at this point. And like I said, the development stream should come on so much faster now as we focus our development in key areas that, as a manager, we are going to be well equipped to handle. We do go long on that through a volley that went on for quite a while, rally that was going for quite a while, but we do lead 30-15. Go a little long on that serve, but easily get the second one in play. Oh, really? Oh, double fault. Oh, come on. Quadruple fault. 5 in a row. finally gets it in play. Is she really that poor of a server? I have to look at her attributes when we get a chance. Our tactical strategy now is to try to work a player side to side. And I think that's a very, very smart way to go. We need to get the ball in play. We do win the opening game here. Let's go ahead and speed things up through the next couple of games. It's a bit gusty. It's a bit warm. We are in Sydney. So far, so good. It's 1-1, though. That was very close. 10 minutes just to get through 2 games. We are fairly evenly matched, it looks like. Both are devastated now. Trail Love 30, now 30-30 as we fight back in this one. 40-30. Wow, straight. We went from Love 30 to winning the game without giving up another point along the way. But they immediately bounce back. It's 3-3. So we are not able to gain much of an advantage at this point. Okay, so you can see we've hit the net a couple times. We've gone long a little bit, but you can see most of the balls are in play. She's hitting a lot into this region. Position. Hit playing area. Not that I completely, fully know and understand all of that. I lack a bit of knowledge when it comes to the sport. I actually followed it a lot as a kid, but that was also at a time where, at least in the US, you pretty much had, let's see, what were the choices? NFL, NBA, NHL, NASCAR, IndyCar, and tennis. That was... Oh, and golf. That was about all. That was about all for a long time. There was not a lot of choices. And you absolutely really only had one sport when it came to females getting airtime. And that was this sport. That was tennis. And that hasn't changed a whole lot. But as for following the sport, it was probably the Williams sisters near the start of their career. Dang, 7-5. That took a while. It really took a while, but I would imagine we're going to see a bit of a difference in the morale. A bit. Still stressed, but not devastated. We'll see if that plays to her advantage here in the second set. Doesn't in the first game, though, as she trails 1-0. Let's see, stamina's starting to maybe have a bit of an impact, as you can see she's got a definite advantage. Oh, she fights back and goes 3-1. That was a big game win right there. 4-1. Again, fighting with advantage, but then drops it. 4-2. 5-3, and there it is, 6-3. And she has won, so she's made it through the first qualifying round. That's going to be big. Dangerous opponent for the next round, though they really aren't ranked that much higher than where we are. So we'll see if we can put up a competitive match, but it is the number 2 seed. So not lucky with where we're at right now. I mean, there are definitely some other opponents I'd be a bit more comfortable going up against. All right, well, we are down to a limited time, so we're going to have to push through. I have a feeling we might end up losing this one, but it will probably be fairly close. But we'll see. I think I do have a smart set of tactical setups for my players, so it is entirely possible that being patient and starting to move the other player side to side, but trying to keep it in play at this level, at this ability level, I think it could be a factor. You can see that our opponent's stressed and we're pumped. And she's already hurting for stamina. So as we lead 2-0 and have a chance to go up 3-0 in this opening set, and we do, winning all 3 of those first games is huge. This could potentially give us the upper hand and get us out of this round. I mean, is 3 games enough to say you're going to win? Yeah, probably not, but that's certainly a good start. That much we can be certain of. Now 3-1. They do battle back. Looked for a moment we were going to win that 4th game, but we have served this time. Can we squeeze this one out? She has definitely battled back after that rough start, that rocky start. Finding it difficult now. See advantage a second time and win it. Yes, okay, 4-1. I think we might claim this first set. 5-1, 6-1. Beautiful. Beautiful work. And again, the stamina now even worse. And stressed. And we're pumped. And stamina's still pretty good, though it went down a little bit that time. Quick start to the second set. 3 games. Wow. 4 games. We're going to get through this thing. We only need 2 more. 5. And there it is. 6-0. And dang, we make it through. So, 3rd qualifying round is going to find us up against the 8th seed. This is actually somebody potentially easier to get through. And they just squeak past their last opponent, who is fairly low in the rankings. They did have an easier time in the first one, but we are absolutely the first quality opponent that they'll go up against. At this point, all but a couple that remain are seeded. And actually looking at what would be ahead of us, the seeded ones have gone through. Let's go ahead and simulate, though, as I am out of time. We'll just see what happens. 4-6, 6-1, 3-1. And we've done it. Took 3 sets, but she's gone through. Oh, there you go. 100% choreograph. 3 stars of 4.5. That is pretty dang good. Insane potential. 5 stars. Good level. Yeah. Hot-headed doesn't look great, but... Alright, so we make it into the tournament proper. No seeding for this. We go up against a fellow American after coming through the qualifiers. 35th seed. I think this is where we get knocked out. I am going to have to just go ahead and simulate. Again, we need to come to a result, and I don't think it's going to go well. 6-1, 6-2. She keeps winning. Are our tactics that good? Seems unlikely, but we are on a roll, and we've made it into the round of 32. Going up against the 5 seed, 13th ranked in the world, Joanna Koda. Out of the UK is going to probably be way too much for us to handle. But that's okay. We have made it pretty dang deep. No way. 3-6, but then go 6-2, 6-4. And we again survive. We open with just a phenomenal showing in this first tournament. I mean, she's already won, what, 5? 5 times? And now it's the 16 seed. I mean, you figured this would be easier. That doesn't mean it's going to be easier because we're still well below. We could and should still get knocked out at this point. But after coming through the qualifiers, I figure we're the only left. We do have a wild card left, but nobody out of the look, it's Venus Williams. Oh, my goodness. Oh, and there's Corey Goff, who we just scouted. She's gotten through. Okay, still likely to lose, but somehow win. 6-4, 6-4. Quarterfinal. Are you kidding me? We are going to get paid very well. Of course, this first year, that's the big thing that we care about. Number 5 player in the world, 2 seed here. Elena Svitolina. 3-6, 2-6, out in the quarterfinal. But what an amazing performance. So proud of Lowell for getting through that. That was incredible. She's the final winner, the one who beat us, ended up winning the tournament. Yeah, look at that. One tournament, she brings in, for us, nearly 5,000. 21% is 4,619. Now, she's not going to collect that regularly. Okay, that's not normal, what she just pulled off. But it's going to be good for her rankings. We are going to be in bigger tournaments than we were. I think we are set to survive long haul. I don't know if we're set to be profitable at this point in time, but we can get through this year. I think we can absolutely stay afloat at this point with this single player. Lowell will be good enough. And then at the end of the year, I can, or at some point here, I can renegotiate a better contract that extends it into next year, get that up to 29%, get a higher cut, and maybe do more than just break even. And then we can just slowly accumulate the funds we need, slowly train her, get her better and better, winning more and more, bringing in more and more prize money, and eventually upgrade facilities, bring in additional athletes. I think that's the first thing is right here, the sports center. 150,000, bring up maximum team size, bring in more athletes, and then instantly we'll be able to sign some others, and that turns into a whole lot more money. That's the first place we got to go. These, they're all going to wait, but we need 150,000 for that. We're 100,000 shy, and I think short term we might lose money, but I think long term we'll definitely find some winnings. I mean, it's mid-month. We could still have another tournament. We can still bring in enough to even be profitable now. But how many times are we going to make quarterfinals of a major tournament? I don't know if we're going to make that very often. That is going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there. Bye for now.